In this video I'm going to talk about how to get more books read. It seems to be a problem for a lot of people to get more books read, and maybe they have like a pile of books on their table that they never get started with, or they feel it's too slow or boring or something. It seems that a lot of people are not reading, so this video should be very helpful for you if you struggle with reading. So I'm going to give 10 practical ways to read more books. So first practical thing is that learn to speed read. Learning to speed read. Simply, of course, if you can read faster, you can get more books read then. And I don't mean with speed reading that you just like pound through books really fast and don't learn anything from them. Speed reading is very helpful when you read some books that are not necessarily like full of like practical good ideas. It can be that like many books that are like published, they need to sell the book, so they don't really they don't necessarily have that many ideas, but they need to have more pages in the book so that it looks better in the shelf, and it seems like they're getting more value, while in truth you're not really getting more value with a thicker book. It's just more pages and you're not necessarily getting more ideas from that, because not so many people have like so many good ideas to give you. So learning to speed read is very important, of course, to read more books, but then also establishing a routine, because if you like don't have any routine, then you probably just find some more interesting things and you never like get the books read. So what I personally like to do 2 hours before I go to bed, I read some novel or something to put me to sleep. So I don't like to use electronic device or anything like that before bed, or not, I don't work before bed and stuff. So 2 hours every day pretty much I'm reading a book in bed. Then for you it might be also reading an hour in the morning, half an hour. Maybe you read every time you commute to work, something like that. So some kind of routine. Then have like an accountability partner or start a book club. I used to have a book club with my friend. Now we just have, because he lives farther away now, we just have like accountability. We read a book every week, and we I send my YouTube videos, which I actually publish on this channel as well. You can check them out. Book of the week every week, and he also sends me like a message where he summarizes his book. So we do that every week, and we have like an accountability partner. Of course, you can have multiple people also, and you like review or summarize books to each other. So that's one thing. Next is that you want to read good books. As simple as that. If you read boring, not so good books, it's like you start to hate reading real fast. And like a long, boring book, nothing worse than that. You want to buy like the good, really like classic books, then also something that's just a very good author and so on. And then next is that you want to read what interests you. Myself, I'm very interested in psychology, persuasion especially, and things like that, business and personal development, health, nutrition, sleep and all that kind of stuff. For you it might be mostly like history or maybe investing or something. I'm interested in investing as well, but don't read something that doesn't interest you. Read something that's you're passionate about, and that will make you read more. Then buy shorter books. Why shorter books? Well, simply because it can be really intimidating at first to start a thick book. It's so overwhelming. It might be that you never get started with the book because you feel it's so long a process to read through it. So start with some shorter books, you get some momentum, you finish those real fast, then you can start another one. You also learn a little bit more actually when you get more ideas. So that's one thing. Then listen to audiobooks. It's not really reading. It's funny how some people say I read an audiobook. It's really listening, but it is pretty much the same. You get, of course, you go through the book, you get the knowledge in your head. So that's one way that way you can pretty much listen like a book a day. You can like listen while you exercise, while you cook, while you walk, while you drive, So that's one very effective way to read more. Then next is hustle while you wait. What I mean by that is that while you're in the train, read. While you're in the car, you can listen. Not good to read when you drive, but then also you can, like, every time you have like a moment when you commute or you wait someone, you can grab some book from your bag and read. That's pretty much like the biggest reason I think that I have read over 100 books is because I have pretty much always, when I have been in the train or plane or something, the airport waiting for a flight or something, I have a book that I'm reading. Then do a dopamine detox is also included in these 10 tips. What I mean by that is the problem might be why you're not reading so much is that you're getting so much more dopamine from something else. Today it's not necessarily that easy to read because you have like the social media apps that are like much more like you get a better dopamine release and much faster when you scroll through Instagram or something, TikTok or something. And also like you have all the food and you might constantly like feel like getting some coffee or some cookies or whatever. Like you get dopamine all the time, and it makes you less motivated to read and work and so on. So if you do a dopamine detox, like even like a week, that you really like ruthlessly like cut off all the junk food, all excess caffeine, all those stimulants, and not reduce social media use like drastically, like consuming, especially if you do it for like work or you're like content creator, maybe you use that, but not like hours or even like less than that, like just scrolling through Facebook and Instagram and all social media. So that's one thing, and then you will start feeling more motivated. And then lastly, just get started, because it's reading is so great. When you get started and start reading some books, you actually kind of become like addicted to that. Don't become like a junkie where you just read books and don't do anything else, but it will be really like rewarding when you get started. But it can be intimidating to start with a book first, but when you get started, it really it gets exciting, and it's so delighting to like be learning new things. So that's it. If this was helpful, make sure to hit thumbs up. Also subscribe for more videos like this, and I will see you next time.